Zach and I don't know where we are going to be living next month. It has just been worse than I thought. I think I'm developing like an obsession. It's actually getting out of hand.
I had a feeling you'd come back and save me.
My life is currently in disarray. We're gonna get to that in a minute, a little bit later, but the one thing that's really pulling me through this morning is Taylor Swift Midnights. It came out at midnight, obviously, but I was fast asleep. There's no way I could stay up till midnight. Like, are you kidding me? That's asking a lot. So I've just been listening to the album. I'm one of those people, I cannot, for the life of me, choose a song I like in the moment. Like, it needs to simmer in. I need to listen to it again and see, like, do I like it? So I don't know what I like right now. I've just been listening to everything. I've been so excited about this. And it's been really cool watching. I'm just doing some skincare, and actually, okay, this is very exciting skincare. It's for an upcoming sponsorship. I'm not even gonna like go into detail with what this is yet because I don't like to introduce products without trying them out for several weeks. But stay tuned because this stuff is going to be a favorite. But anyway, it's been really cool watching Taylor Swift's evolution. Like, she started out as that like cutesy country girl, and look where she is now. Nothing like that. And I feel like so many times, especially like when you're in the public eye, even for YouTubers, influencers, like people put you in one box, you put yourself in that box. It's very marketable to be like, I'm the news reporter, I'm the cute country girl. But the odds of you staying that same person your whole life, it's like, no, who stays the same from when you're 12 to 25 or whatever it might be. So it's like really cool that she's not only evolved, but people have followed her regardless of whatever stage she might be. So I'm definitely a Swiftie, guys. Like, I'm a very big Taylor Swift fan. I just love how like unapologetic she is. Her music's great, obviously. And I am very much so just planning on listening to the entire album multiple times this morning. Also, I didn't even say it. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh. I thought this door was open. It is the most beautiful day outside, not a cloud in the sky. And yet here I am. And this is what I am doing at 3:29 on a Friday afternoon. I'm watching Tell Me Lies, which you guys know is like one of my favorite shows ever on Hulu. I'm so obsessed, and it takes a lot for me to get obsessed with the show because I feel like a lot of them are just boring. I just finished editing my vlog, the one you would have seen before this, and everything is telling me to go outside, like savor this moment. Be happy that it's so beautiful, but like sometimes you just gotta listen to your heart. So I'm just gonna watch this and eventually I will leave this couch. I finally decided to build the courage to get up, get ready, and actually do something with my life because it's weird. Editing days don't feel productive because I'm just sitting in one solitary chair. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not up and about doing things. So I'm really happy I got that video done, edited, and pre-uploaded. I always like to go into my weekend having Wednesday's video already edited, which honestly doesn't happen like 50% of the time, but I figured right now might actually be a good time to talk to you guys about what has been happening behind the scenes and causing me to want to pull my hair out a little bit. I'm breaking out the tripod, and that's when you know it's real. Usually when I record a sit-down portion like this, I try to make sure the background is neat, but honestly, we are past the point of caring because Zach and I don't know where we are going to be living next month, which you guys know I had everything planned out with our travel journey up until Christmas. And we don't know what's going to be happening after that, but that's fine. You know, we're going to be with my parents. We have a place to live, but next month we do not. And that is because a few days ago, I got the notification that our Airbnb host in our next location canceled. A month before we were supposed to arrive, just canceled. I have no idea why. I have a feeling this person canceled trying to get more money from someone else. Airbnb hosts do that, especially with Hurricane Ian. A lot of people from Fort Myers and Naples are relocating because they don't have homes. And this is something that happens whenever there are tragedies like that where hosts try to take advantage of that. This is total speculation. I don't know what it is. Basically, somehow they got a better offer is what I'm thinking. And at first when I got this notification, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, obviously I was like, wow, that kind of stinks, but let's just, you know, hit the market again, start searching. Nothing. Obviously there are places that exist in our next city on Airbnb, but not in our price range. Because a pro tip that I've told everyone, if you want to find great stays, you have to book super far in advance. Otherwise, all the good ones are going to be gone. And what's happening now is there is nothing in the city we want to go to in our price range, where we want to be, because it's not just the full city. Like, we want it to be in this very specific neighborhood that seemed to be more safe or is more safe. I mean, we would be paying $2,000 more. And the thing that makes it extra, not like stressful, but just extra like, okay, we really need to figure this out, is Zach's parents already booked their Airbnb to visit us in that city. They booked it to be with us for Thanksgiving. We were so excited, and they have their stay, and then we suddenly don't have ours. And they told us, like, hey, ours is 100% refundable. Just let us know if you don't end up doing that city. We can visit you somewhere else. So they were so understanding, but in the back of my mind, it's just not an option that I want to happen, because then that's not necessarily fair to the Airbnb host that Zach's parents booked, right? All of a sudden, just a couple of weeks before they were supposed to have 2 guests, they have no one, and they don't make money. And like, that just stinks. I know how much it stinks when people suddenly cancel, considering that happened to us. So I have quite literally spent hours these past couple of days searching, just trying to find an Airbnb that works. Suddenly now I'm doing backup options, backup cities. Like, okay, we really might not be able to do this one city. And then I don't know about those cities though. And will Zach's parents find a good place? Like, it has just been worse than I thought, because when we first got that cancellation, I literally at one point said to Zach, ooh, like this could be even fun. Like, no, not fun at all. This is not good at all. So we have been in touch with one property manager in this city, and we're definitely not going to be able to stay in a specific part of the city that we wanted to. I mean, I'm not paying $2,000 extra. That's insane. And so, yeah, it's just kind of been a mess. Obviously not ideal. And it's just like, wow, okay, like the time is ticking. We leave in less than a month. It's just been stressful, obviously. I did get my full refund. I reached out to Airbnb and I was just like, hey, our host canceled on us and suddenly we can't even afford anything in this price range. Is there anything you guys can do? And they said no. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's what's been just, I don't know. It's just like this like anxious, like we gotta get this solved. We gotta get this figured out. And then every time I open up my laptop, go on Airbnb and start searching, I just come to the same dead wall of like, oh my gosh, there's just nothing in our price range that we would want to stay in, because obviously well, I don't know if it's obvious and you guys don't even know the city yet, but I mean, there are parts that are not good of this city. And so I'm just scared we're going to end up in a really unsafe part. And it's just been one of those things. I guess it's almost a good thing this happened to me, just so that you guys can see, like, this is a reality of doing this whole traveling lifestyle. Things aren't going to go perfectly, and you might get your Airbnb canceled on the month before you're supposed to arrive, you know what I mean? And obviously if it was a vacation, it'd be slightly different, but like, this is our home, like this is where we're supposed to be living. And of course we both have wonderful parents, like we could always go back. It's not like we're like, oh my gosh, we're homeless, nothing like that, but it just sucks. On a more positive note though, Zach and I are going out to St. Pete Beach this evening. Basically they just have like a lot of restaurants and cocktail lounges, that type of thing, all on the water, so I'm so excited. Technically St. Pete Beach is walking distance to us, but it's a hike. I mean, it's 45 minutes to the closest like access point, and then after that, like to go to the specific restaurant I want to go to tonight, it would be like over an hour. So we don't got time for that. I have a feeling we are probably going to be walking a lot though, and it is because of that reason. Oh, I'm not even wearing them. I was gonna show you. I'm gonna wear just like my white sneaks with this look because comfort is key. And this is just from a local boutique in Cincinnati called Threads Boutique. Got on a nice little jean jacket look. Also, I'm wearing my new necklace and I'm very sad because I've come to a realization. I said that we're to a realization. I'm not a gold jewelry person. I have my gold hoops in as well, and I just don't think any of this looks good. I feel like it just looks like costume jewelry on me. Like, I think I'm a silver jewelry gal, obviously. My engagement ring is silver. Zach's just putting a shirt on the other side. It's kind of funny what no one knows goes on the other side of the camera. Ah, my stylist always fixing me up. Thank you. You love being my stylist?
No. You're always a mess.
Oh my, tell them about our new problem that has recently developed.
Well, it's not recent.
What? Well, it's especially annoying me recently.
You always have stuff on your face.
Zach is every second of...
No. Again, you always make this, don't twist what's actually happening. No, I'm not annoying or like nitpicky. Like, I'm not like a freak always like nitpicking at her. She gets real stuff. Like, she'll have broccoli and stuff on her, like where it's like you're being polite to get it off of them so they're not walking around a restaurant with stuff on their face. So you get it off.
But my complaint... What?
So you get it...
Oh, I was like, what do I have now? But my thing is, if I'm around the house, it's fine.
No, it's not. Like, all I do is stare at the stuff on your face. So no, like, I'm being... Yes, if I was like a freak or like mad about, like, no, I just politely get it off her face, or it's like no big deal.
You know what I was thinking the other day, or actually just last night? I am like weird with certain things. Like, I have to shower twice a day. Like, I'm very like, I don't know, like clean, I guess. Like, my body must be clean. But I do some of the most like absurdly disgusting things. Like, for example, things could just, my food, like when I eat. Also, like if a piece of food drops on the floor, like I really have no problem eating it. I just don't. Like, I can't help it. Also, Zach, do the imitation. Another thing that annoys Zach when I brush my teeth.
Well, no, like, it makes no sense what she does. People brush their teeth, and you just spit out the toothpaste. Like, so, yeah, occasionally it can get, like, on your mouth.
I
You have to wipe it
know.
off. She lets it, like, run down like a rat. Like, she has rabies. Like, where it's, like, running down her face, and then she's got to, like, take a towel and, like, wipe it all off of her, like... You don't have to do, like, no one does that. Like, you don't have, like, it's like if there's only one way to do it, and that's how you had to, like, okay, I get it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to let it run down your face.
But yeah, gonna be a good night, despite our problems.
We've got a lot.
Normally I would start the montage now, but I feel like I have to show you guys the full scene. We found this cute restaurant called Bongos at the Bellwether Resort. All outdoor seating. There's an indoor restaurant inside as well, but it's like more fancy. And it's so nice here at sunset.
It's very nice.
And here's the menu. Honestly, I haven't even really looked too much at the menu, but just the ambiance. I'm a very big ambiance person. Like this is awesome.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
Okay, I really want to say good morning, guys, but it's not morning, and saying good afternoon, guys, sounds so weird. It sounds like a creepy Dracula moment, but Zach and I just started off our day. Okay, first we started off our day, if I'm going to be honest, watching a couple of hours of the show The Watcher. It's on Netflix. I love it. It's like a horror show, but it's kind of more thriller, like a mixture. It's not just straight horror. I don't like just like jump scares and like creepy. Like, I don't like that. I need like psychological aspects to it, and it's just, I'm obsessed. Zach is a little less sold on it. What would you rate The Watcher, Zach? You're not in love.
A 6 out of 10 right now.
Oh my gosh.
It has potential. They just do some stuff that's just really stupid, but it just seems like obvious different things too. It's like, oh, and
On the run, we end up going on a bridge, totally uphill. Like, I actually think I'm dying, and Zach is confirmation. Zach, when you looked over at me when we were doing the bridge run, what were you thinking?
well, no, I mean, her face gets really red when she works out. And today it was funny because I almost died the first time I ran the bridge, but today I actually didn't feel bad. So I'm kind of cruising. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe like the weather's better today, so this is easier. I'm like, hopefully she's doing well. And I like looked over and her face was just beat red. It looked like she might croak at any second. So I was happy she didn't.
Yeah, you're like, are you okay? And I was like, no, but I'm gonna try.
Well, you did good, and we had a good workout today.
Yay! See, we can work out together sometimes.
I've always said we could.
No,
You're the one that's
you've been
the
refusing to run with me these past couple of months.
That is absolute. That's a straight up lie.
Okay, anyway, we are going to lunch. We're going to go to a spot that we discovered our first day here. Thought it'd just be a nice quick lunch because it's already pretty late. And we need a little something, something. One thing that will never get old here is the sunsets. I am obviously, you guys know, a morning person, but I saw in a Reddit group about people who were talking about which is better, if you are the part of Florida that gets the sunsets or the sunrises. And a guy put it nicely. He said, I'd rather be at a restaurant on the beach watching the sunset than at a Starbucks watching the sunrise. And it is true, even as a morning person, how often am I up and at it during the sunrise, right? Like it's like, how often am I at a restaurant enjoying it? Most of the time you're getting ready for work. You're not actually like enjoying 6 o'clock in the morning, whereas the evenings are just so insane here. So I think Zach and I are going to hit up downtown St. Petersburg. It's actually kind of late for us, not really, 7:10, but our lunch was a little bit later, so maybe we'll try to find a good restaurant. Some of you guys recommended some spots that we can hit up, but I'm excited because I only went to downtown St. Petersburg once, and it was just me by myself, just kind of walking around, so it'll be fun to do it with Zach.
Oh, stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now.
Good morning, guys. It is another beautiful day. What do you know? It's like so weird waking up every day and just knowing it's going to be great. And obviously, bug on my arm, that's the one bad thing here. And I think I'm gonna die from a random animal here in Florida. Like, it almost feels like the animals own Florida and we're just visiting them. Like, there's just huge birds flying around at every second. Like, okay, that's the most normal animal ever. There's a squirrel in the middle of the street, but like, seriously, they're all over. But I just went for a run. I need to kick back up my runs because I am so worried about my endurance. Like, I don't get it though. I work out often, okay? And yet I seem to have the worst endurance ever, where if you look at my heart rate during my run, I just posted this on my Instagram story. Yesterday, my average was 173. My high was like 185, something like that. Granted, I think the huge thing here is the heat. I'm just not used to running in this. Like, yeah, it's 80 degrees, but then 80 feels like 90 because of the humidity. I don't know, but I'm like kind of concerned about it because Zach and I looked at his average heart rate yesterday. We ran the same distance, just 2 miles, and it was like 153. And I had to stop us after 2 miles, which I feel bad, but it just goes to show when you look at our heart rates, like we were in 2 different places physically, where like I physically could not run anymore. I was at 185. So yeah, I don't know. Just trying to build up the endurance, also trying to get used to the heat. It's funny because Carly, you guys know Carly, she's a phys ed teacher and she learned a lot about this in college. So I always text her like for advice and like what to do and if this is normal. And she told me I think it normally takes about 2 weeks to acclimate to super hot weather. So we shall see. I've got a duck on my shirt. It's gonna be a good Sunday. I just want to give a big thank you to so many of you guys because I got so many recommendations to visit John's Pass and we were obsessed. We stopped in a place called Caddy's, which was right on the water, but of course we were seated at the bar because we had to watch the football games. It was Sunday. I got a chicken sandwich, are we surprised? Zach got tacos. And you know what? That was my first chicken sandwich of the entire weekend. I am proud. Then we walked by all of the shops. I mean, there are so many. I feel like if you've been to one of the shops, though, you've been to all of them. Like, it's all the same type. I tried on an outfit. It was hideous. I had to remove it from my body at once. And then Zach got in the dressing room. You love it?
I don't know if I love it.
You think you look good, though?
Well, it's not the surf style. That makes it look good. I can get the shorts and I just walk around in the matching.
Oh my god.
Where will you go? Won't you miss the ones you know? I'll be here, hanging on, waiting for your call.
We just got back from John's Pass Boardwalk, I think it's called. It was so cute, and that is, you know what, that's just like the word of this trip. Everything is just cute here, and that's the stupidest word ever. I understand that. You gotta come up with better adjectives, but that's the one I can come up with. Zach, do you have an adjective to describe St. Petersburg?
I mean, what did I just say? It's really pretty.
Pretty and cute. Very nice. And we have a very exciting update. We just got the contract that we're gonna have to sign for our next Airbnb, so we are not without a home. We have things planned. We still need to like look through it and sign it, so I guess it's not certain yet, but we got it. Is it the best option? No, it's not in the exact area we want it to be, but it is in the city we were hoping for, which you guys will find out. I'll release that information maybe in a couple videos. And I'm really excited. Like, none of this is a big deal, right? Like, I knew we were going to figure it out. And it's like that little chart I always love to refer to. Can you do something about it? Yes, then don't worry about it. Is there nothing you can do about it? I'm paraphrasing, but if the answer is no, then don't worry about it. And I woke up, it was this morning, I vlogged it in the last vlog at like, I don't know, 5 a.m. Could not sleep because I just felt anxious. And I was thinking in the chart, like, can you do something about it? Yes. And then it's like, but we need to do something about it. Like, I need to figure this out. So yeah, feeling good. Have you been keeping an optimistic viewpoint?
No, I mean, I knew we were going to figure it out whether it was the same city or not, so it seemed to work out.
Are you happy we kept the city?
I think overall it'll be fun, yeah. I don't think I was going to get too beat up if we didn't.
Oh, look at the way Zach just tries to like creatively eat games. Like, I look over and he's eating them in a different way every time. Is it fun?
Very fun.
I will say one thing I'm worried about with the next place is it is a loft style. So you see how here we have like our main room, kitchen, and then our bedroom, obviously a whole separate area. With this place, it is a loft similar to our Charlotte rental, where it's an upstairs downstairs situation, but it's flipped. So you walk in and you are on like the main floor with the kitchen and the dining room, all of that, and then upstairs is the bedroom. So there's not a door, it's just like all open. And the one concern is the lighting isn't really as good in those types of places typically, and I can kind of sense that, but I mean, I can't base my whole life around lighting for my videos. It is important, obviously, but not enough to be like, no. And okay, we are spending, I think, just about $100 more than original. So not too bad, all in all. It stinks that we're in a totally different area and spending more because this area is not as good, but it all worked out. Please tell me I am not the only human who has just been listening to Taylor Swift all weekend long. Like, I think I'm developing like an obsession. It's actually getting out of hand. Like, even Zach was like, this is not good, because not only am I listening to the Midnight's album on repeat, I'm also going back and watching old interviews. And Zach has heard this. He probably thinks these are like recent interviews that like just came out, and I'm like, oh, I gotta catch the interview. But no, I'm going back and watching interviews from like when Red came out, 1989. Like, I'm just so intrigued by this human being who is so talented and smart, but not in like the book smart way, and like the type of smart that actually matters and makes a difference in this world. Like, I don't know. I also feel like I'm catching up, because I've always been a Taylor Swift fan. I've always loved her music, but like I wasn't like a fan, like where I knew who she actually was. So now I'm like playing catch up. And I love this album. I thought I wasn't going to. When I first heard it that morning on Friday, I was like, oh, it's like synth pop. And I'm not a synth pop kind of person. Like, I don't normally like the way that sounds, but it just works. And my faves, everyone has their faves. Please comment down below what your favorite song on the album is. Snow on a Beach, Question, You're on Your Own, Kid, and then Antihero. You gotta love Antihero. But I also like how a lot of these seem to be about her life. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but with, I think it was Evermore, when she started just writing fiction, I don't know, I wasn't a fan. And it later came out that even like her early music kind of was fiction. She had never been in love, yet she was writing about being in love, but she was kind of writing about like what she thought it could be. But Willow and Evermore were just total fiction, like a fictitious story about a boy who cheated on a girl. And like, they were beautiful stories, but I love listening to music where the artist has the experience and you feel the emotion. I mean, Red, like when she was going through that breakup with Jake Gyllenhaal, like that was emotion. Like, she broke down playing All Too Well a few times. I've seen the performances on YouTube, guys. Like I said, I have an obsession. And also, I am very much so looking forward to the day that these baby hairs will grow. What I'm guessing happened, I talked about this a while back, this hair broke off. I had a hairdresser who warned me, actually. Like, she knew this, like when it was normal length, that this hair was like fried somehow. It feels just so much thinner and like lighter than the rest of my hair, and it somehow, I guess, broke off on both ends, which is weird that it happened to like both sides. And it doesn't fit in my bun, so I have to just deal with, like, I don't do bobby pins, I'm too lazy for that, so I just have to deal with this for a little bit longer. I guess everyone wear a heat protectant. I don't at all, which I know I should, especially because of how much heat I put on my hair, but I just don't like my hair natural. Like, I feel like I really don't. Like, that stinks. And I look back where I used to wear it natural and I loved it, and now I just can't. I can't do it. Also, I'm gonna have to look into if anyone has any recommendations of hairdressers here in St. Petersburg, because my hair is starting to get a little too long for my liking. But then also at the same time, I want to grow it out for the wedding, because regardless of how I wear my hair, whether I wear it all down, half up, half down, or up, I feel like having more hair to work with helps. Which, guys, by the way, I still don't know how I'm wearing my hair at all. Like, at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't even matter, I guess. But I don't know. I'm gonna do a wedding updates vlog because it's interesting. Like, my weekend and my lives, I feel like the con with these, I don't do as much talking and chatting and like catch-ups because I'm doing stuff. But it's cool because I have those montages and we go out together, but there's not as much chatting. And then with my week and my lives, I don't have as many like montages and cool things that we do, but I talk about things more. I don't know. I wish there was like the perfect balance of the week in my lives and the weekend in my lives, but for now, this is just what you're getting. And this is actually just going to be my Sunday evening. Got my laptop, my Taylor Swift interviews. I need to stop. Like, I really am going to take a break because we're bordering on crazy, but it's okay. I know I'm not alone. Please let me know in the comments below. But anyway, I love you guys so much, especially my Florida people. You guys have been giving me so many great recommendations. I mean, I have them all written down, gonna try to knock them out. Like, there is so much I want to do here that is on my list. So keep the recs coming because I appreciate them so much. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.